Most Canadian seniors know that July 29th is a payment date. They are expecting their deposit. They are counting on it. But here is what almost nobody is talking about. Two completely separate things happen on July 29th. Not one. Two. Most seniors only know about the first one. And the second one, the one that nobody clearly explains, can move your monthly income by hundreds of dollars in either direction, without a warning, without a letter in advance, without a phone call from Service Canada telling you what changed and why. I am going to walk you through both things happening on July 29th, show you exactly how to know which one affects you, and tell you what the gap between the two could mean for your retirement income for the next 12 months. And I'm going to save one thing for the very end. There is a free move available right now before July 29th that most seniors have never been told about. It can protect hundreds of dollars of income that would otherwise quietly leave your account between now and next July. I am holding it until the end because it only makes full sense once you understand both things happening on the 29th. I have spent years going through CRA bulletins, Service Canada quarterly releases, and Finance Canada announcements so that you do not have to spend your Sunday afternoon trying to make sense of government language. Everything I share today is checked against the most current official sources. There is nothing to buy here. No sales pitch at the end. Just plain English, the way this should have been explained to you already. If that sounds like what you have been looking for, hit subscribe now. I cover this kind of information regularly. And before we start, drop a comment right now telling me what province you are watching from. I genuinely want to know. Now let us talk about both things happening on July 29th. The first thing is the one most seniors already expect. OAS is going up. Every 3 months, the government reviews OAS using something called the Consumer Price Index. The Consumer Price Index is simply a measurement of how much everyday things cost compared to 3 months earlier. If costs went up, OAS goes up. If costs stayed flat, OAS stays the same. It never goes down. That is the rule. For the July to September 2026 quarter, the Government of Canada has confirmed a 1.2% increase. That is the largest single quarterly adjustment of the entire year. In specific dollar terms, here is what that means. For seniors aged 65 to 74, the maximum OAS rises from $743.05 per month to approximately $751.97 per month. For seniors age 75 and older, it rises from $817.36 per month to approximately $827.17 per month. That 75 and older rate has been permanently higher since July 2022, when the government added a 10% top-up for that age group. Every senior aged 75 or over receives it automatically for life, with no application needed. Let me show you what the first thing looks like through a real situation. Meet Dorothy. She is 69 years old and lives in Windsor, Ontario. Dorothy has been collecting OAS for 4 years and knows that her payment goes up occasionally. She was pleased to see her deposit on June 26th and is expecting the same reliable amount again on July 29th. Dorothy is a composite illustration, not a real person, but everything that happens to her happens to thousands of Canadian seniors in exactly this way. On July 29th, Dorothy will see her OAS portion increase by roughly $9 per month. She will notice the slight bump. She will feel reassured, and she will assume everything is fine. But Dorothy also receives GIS, and GIS is the second thing happening on July 29th. And for Dorothy, that second thing is not going to feel reassuring at all. Here is the second thing most seniors never fully understand, and it is the one that surprises people every single year. GIS stands for Guaranteed Income Supplement. It is a monthly, completely non-taxable payment added on top of OAS for seniors whose income falls below a specific level. The maximum GIS for a single senior right now is $1,109.85 per month. That is over $13,000 a year on top of OAS, and every single cent of it is tax-free. But here is what makes GIS completely different from OAS. OAS goes up automatically every quarter. GIS does not. Every July, Service Canada takes your 2025 income tax return and uses the total income you reported to recalculate your GIS from scratch. Not for just 1 month, for the entire 12 months from July 2026 through June 2027. Whatever number is on your 2025 return is the number Service Canada uses to set your GIS for the full coming year. If your 2025 income was lower than the year before, your GIS could go up. If your 2025 income was higher than the year before, your GIS goes down. And if your 2025 tax return was never filed, your GIS stops entirely on July 29th. No warning, no letter beforehand. The deposit simply does not include the GIS portion. Let me show you what the second thing looks like through a different situation. Meet a man I will call Frank. He is 71 years old and lives in Lethbridge, Alberta. Frank is a composite illustration, not a real person, but this situation plays out for thousands of Canadian seniors every July in exactly this way. Frank has received GIS for 3 years. His monthly deposit includes his OAS and roughly $820 in GIS, which he relies on to cover his rent and utilities. In 2025, Frank decided to take a lump sum from an old pension plan he had from a job he held many years earlier. He took $22,000 from that plan in one payment, thinking it would be a useful cushion. He paid the tax on it when he filed his 2025 return. He thought the matter was closed. But the $22,000 that appeared on his 2025 return is now the number Service Canada uses when they recalculate his GIS on July 29th. That $22,000 added to his CPP and his OAS pushes his total income significantly higher than the year before. Depending on his complete income picture, Frank's GIS on July 29th could drop by $550 per month or more for the entire following 12 months. His OAS goes up by roughly $9. His GIS drops by roughly $550. His net deposit on July 29th is more than $540 lower than what arrived on June 26th. Frank will open his bank account on July 29th, see the number, and feel confused and genuinely worried. He will not understand what happened until he looks into the GIS rules, which nobody walked him through before that morning. That is the second thing. And the gap between what most seniors expect on July 29th and what actually arrives is sometimes significant enough to affect their rent, their groceries, and their ability to cover everyday expenses for the months ahead. Here is the move I promised at the start, and it is the one piece of this that most seniors never hear about until it is too late. It is a form. And the form number is ISP-3041. The full name is the Statement of Estimated Income. This form exists for one specific purpose. If your income in 2026 is going to be genuinely lower than what appeared on your 2025 tax return, you do not have to sit through the next 12 months watching your GIS calculated on a number that no longer reflects your life. You can contact Service Canada, request this form, estimate what your income will actually be in 2026, and ask them to recalculate your GIS based on that lower number. If Service Canada approves the estimate, your GIS can begin adjusting upward within a few months, rather than waiting all the way until July 2027. Think about what that could have meant for Frank. If Frank had known about Form ISP-3041 in early 2026 and submitted it showing that the $22,000 pension withdrawal was a one-time event, and that his 2026 income would return to its normal lower level, Service Canada could have recalculated his GIS upward several months earlier. The form does not erase what was on his 2025 return, but it allows the government to look at where Frank actually is right now, rather than where a one-time payment placed him last year. This form is not available to download directly from the government website. You must call Service Canada and request it specifically. The number is 1-800-277-9914. When you call, Tell them your GIS has been recalculated based on a higher 2025 income and that your 2026 income will be lower. Ask them to send you Form ISP-3041. It is a straightforward income estimate that most seniors can complete without professional help. In the right situation, this form can recover hundreds of dollars per month in GIS over the following 6 to 12 months. For seniors whose deposits dropped significantly on July 29th, it may be the single most important phone call they make this summer. Here is exactly what I want you to do this week, and none of it costs a single dollar. First, pull out your most recent Notice of Assessment from the Canada Revenue Agency and find line 15,000. That number is your total income for 2025. It is the number Service Canada will use when they calculate your GIS on July 29th. Compare it to the year before. If it went up even slightly, your GIS is likely going down. Knowing this now, before July 29th, gives you time to understand what is coming. Second, log in to my Service Canada account at canada.ca and write down your current OAS amount and your current GIS amount separately. Then log back in on July 29th and compare. If the combined number dropped, you now know exactly why, which part changed, and what form to ask for. Third, if your income in 2026 is genuinely lower than what line 15,000 showed for 2025, call Service Canada at 1-800-27-79914 and ask them to send you Form ISP-3041. Do not wait. Every month you delay is a month your GIS stays calculated on a number that does not reflect your actual situation. If you know a Canadian senior who is expecting their deposit on July 29th without fully understanding what is happening behind it, please share this video with them before the 29th arrives. Everything in this video is general information to help you ask better questions and understand the system more clearly. It is not personal financial advice. Your situation is your own, and before you submit any form or make any income decision, please confirm it against your own CRA documents or speak with someone who can see your full financial picture. Coming up next, I am looking at the one-letter Service Canada sends each July that most seniors set aside without realizing it explains exactly how their GIS was calculated and what to do if the calculation looks wrong. That video is linked in the description. If you are not subscribed yet, now is a good time because this is exactly the kind of thing I cover every day.